We're going to open the City of Vernon Special Workshop Thursday at around 5:30, 3 p.m., April 6, 2023. Candace, indications, please.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather here tonight and help the council to make the best decisions possible and keep our community safe. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Y'all know that this meeting was for contract revision, and an email was sent out that same night to City Hall, which Ms. Candace got and provided us a copy with. The rec director has turned in his resignation effective in 30 days. So, while we are revising, we also need to discuss advertising the position. If y'all want to go a contract basis, if y'all want to try an employee basis. We also need to think about the fact that we have the 4th of July coming up that he will not be here for, according to this. Because it's 30 days ago yet. Prior to that.
Well, we can advertise as soon as you let us, but we do need some kind of a job description to include with it.
Yeah, that's what we need to. And I've looked at these first top 2 pages, or this, now it's front and back on one and top 2 on the other that we talked about the other night. And I don't know
this was the original one before we split it, isn't it?
Well, I don't know because it gives the mayor.
No, you can take
that off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's some stuff in here that
I marked through mine that needed to
must
be
have
there.
been here
Like
before I got
27 says
here.
it reports to
I
me.
marked through them.
I'm sorry?
27 says it reports to me.
Yeah, it's never been that way. And so I don't
No,
know
I
when
just-
this was come up.
I just go down the list and mark them off.
All right.
Yeah.
But,
And that would be quicker for us.
yeah.
Okay.
Just mark them off.
Number 1,
Well, we know that's
We know that.
2,
Yeah.
3.
3.
1, 2, and 3, yeah.
Okay, well let me ask y'all this. 'Cause
Well, they're helping with that too now, right?
Huh?
With the fields and all?
You have another one of those?
No.
But
You
I
have
do
another
a
one of those?
question for y'all.
Oh, that's okay. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, Miss Owens, and I have mine.
I
No,
know
no, no, no.
I have mine.
That's
I
it.
have an extra.
That's fine.
And this is just something I thought about. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there going forward now that we have to have somebody else. The biggest complaint, or well, I'll say the biggest, mainly the most complained about has been the mowing and the weed eating of all the properties. Always. It's never all been done. We've always had questions. I just wanted to ask y'all in moving forward while we're doing this, since we're having to advertise for somebody else, would we think about maybe taking that part out and seeing if Public Works can handle that?
Well, then we also need to take out some money.
Well, that's what, I'm just saying.
Wait a minute.
I'm saying for the money that,
What I do, Becky, I mean, Brittany mentioned it. I'm hoping the older person that's retired to put in for the position. This is the problem. We all have to work. That's the thing. We all have to work. You know, if it's 40 hours a week or whatever, but it's hard to work your regular job and come back and do all the mowing. Cause just say I had a job and I had to work 40 hours. I got 3 or 4 hours in the evening. Me 58, I'm tired. When I get home, I don't feel like doing nothing. I get on the couch. But with that said, then it runs into Saturday and Sunday.
And the job don't pay enough for it to be a full-time job for somebody.
well, and that was,
It can't.
It does not.
you said
It's
that
not enough money.
at the last meeting, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to ask y'all, with the money that's being paid, and I don't even know if something Public Works would do or could do, but now that we have more employees in Public Works, if we just, I'm not talking about the maintaining and lining the fields and I'm just talking
Just the
about
grass
strictly
and the
mowing
weed eater.
and weed
We
eating.
can do that.
Cause you don't
Is that
have a
gonna
lot.
slam
Or
you?
we do on the track and this field back here, So Shady
That-
Grove
Yeah, I'm not
is,
talking about.
if you're just
keeping
talking
the
about
grass
mowing
on
and
the
weeding,
fields.
I
I'm
can
simply
handle
talking
that.
about just mowing, so when we drive by there, our stomachs don't flip.
Yeah.
I
And we
can
don't get
handle
phone
that.
calls.
Yeah,
And because
Especially
there
around
is,
here, cause it's a, you
it's
know,
under
out there,
20
grass
grand.
goes by
The
and they don't
contract
have
is under
enough
20
fields.
right now. What'd you tell me, Candace? It's just under 20.
It's 19,
Yeah, I thought it
One
was like
something.
1853.
because they
you
took,
add
I
it-
mean, if you look at it, you know, I don't have to do 79 no more, I don't have to do 277 no more.
That's what I
So, I
said.
mean, all that's taken away from.
Well, you responsible
right.
for doing that road, Mouse Hill Road, are y'all responsible for that?
We're supposed to be doing, the county just done it.
Yeah,
That's who's supposed to do it, ain't that a county
Well, they
road?
supposed to do it to the city limit sign, I thought, but they done it all the way this time.
That's why I said, cause I saw it was mowing and I thought y'all did that.
Nah, they done
But
it.
that's
They have,
okay.
y'all have done it before.
But we usually do it. I usually only do the side that has the sidewalk, is usually what we used to do.
Mhm.
But, I mean,
well, that's the first thing we need to get straight then before we can go forward. Since he's here, he's the supervisor. Jason, can you handle mowing? Can y'all handle it?
yeah, I mean, right now, we
I
can.
mean,
Once we get our tractor, it'll be 10 times easier. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put more on y'all, but what I'm saying is that we want to get somebody in here that's gonna.
As long as I
get the
got,
job in.
I got 4 people, we can handle it.
Timmy uses equipment anyway, y'all do, right?
Yeah, he's been, yeah.
You the one. Before we go forward, we got to know
I mean,
one way or the other.
If you need to ask the other ones or something,
Let me
but,
make sure,
Well, you're the supervisor,
yeah,
you
you're the supervisor.
so you
but-
can make that
I'm
decision
good with it,
yourself.
I mean,
I mean, is
even
there-
it, I mean,
At the worst times for y'all, would you have enough time?
I think so.
It was bad when there was just 2 of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now we
yeah,
have
we're-
three,
there's
four.
4 of us, and it's a little bit easier on us.
I mean, there's not really that much time.
It's not
It's not
very
that much,
much.
that's what
I mean,
I'm
the
saying.
more than doing all that, if it
Well,
is,
you think about it,
Just fall through it.
well, just say Jason took it. He could send Chad or just say Rusty back here.
yeah,
He mow it 2 hours.
yeah.
You know, if I had the contract, it'd take me 1 trip around the field 4 inches. I'd spray Roundup at the end of it, weeding
Yeah,
around
that's
the
what I
thing.
normally do.
That's not what Timmy should have done. I told him. This man, heck, with all that weed, you take Roundup 1 trip.
And I'm buying chemical, tons of it.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
kill,
You
kill
It's
the
got a
grass.
sprayer
But
too,
anyway,
like
with that
bull
said,
behind.
y'all could mow it easy, all the fields in 1 day.
Yeah,
You know, if y'all had a good day to mow.
yeah.
I was just thinking that because, and we've all talked about it, and it's been said, well, there's so much to do. Well, yeah, times are hard. But you know, we ain't had all the fields mowed,
They ain't
all the
never,
properties mowed at the same time that I know of.
they never did.
You go
Jason's
to one and
always,
it'd be mowed, and you go to the other one and it ain't been mowed in 6 months.
Jason's always picked up the slack, even for the fire department. He's mowed the fire
That's what I'm
department.
saying,
we
with
done
this
it
amount of
today.
money,
But they don't have a lawnmower.
if you took the mowing and the weeding out of it, we could possibly get somebody that would actually come in here and do the job instead of everything being designated to somebody else. And
Because it needs to be somebody too that knows how to plan like events. Because I think there's a bunch of money that's being lost. Y'all said
There's absolutely a
y'all
bunch
said
of money being
the
lost.
4th of July last year wasn't any good. And how much money do you lose if you plan an event and all those people don't end up coming?
well, the
Can I-
thing that happened last year was that concession and all that didn't happen very well.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
There was no, nothing, well, what happened, it was a disappointment, people were all over me and,
There
you know,
wasn't any bounce
because
houses.
there was no bounce house, nothing for the kids to do, nothing, and 4th of July is
The
about
ball
kids, it
got
ain't
bought
about us,
last year.
okay?
It's
And there
usually
was
the
none of
biggest
that.
rec fundraiser that we have, because all that money goes back into rec, and it should be, I mean,
Cause we used to sell tickets for those bounce houses, we sold tickets for them.
I've seen times, years and years ago, and you can talk to people that's done it since
I've
I
done
was
it.
involved, at a practice, at a football practice out there at Sportsplex, you can make $300-400 in a night with concessions. I mean, if you're out there, concessions should be open, let alone on the 4th of July. So that's what I was thinking.
It was
all the
bad
big
last 4th of
things.
July, people were very, very
There was $400
Upset.
turned in last year.
$400
That's what we
for the
said.
4th of July.
The 4th of July?
$400, the whole,
It was so bad I left.
I stayed because.
The
I
only
just
thing
did
anybody
it.
had anything good to say about was the fireworks.
The fireworks, that's all they
The
had.
fireworks are always good.
but that,
but
Can I-
that should be a great event. Yes, Candace, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I don't wanna, I think y'all are stopped and then I don't wanna interrupt y'all. So looking at it from being in here and seeing what goes on versus the time that I was a mayor versus what goes on. For what y'all pay, for what the city pays, when I was the mayor, I had to do Easter and the 4th of July and the Christmas, and the mayor did it, not the rec director. They didn't do it. It was,
I know.
I was told that anyway by the people that were in the office, so anyhow,
look at this.
I'm just saying, but that wasn't something that they did come out and help, but they didn't organize
But
it
on
or
the
plan
planning
it
side.
or do any of the scheduling or any of the paperwork part of it whatsoever. And I
Except-
manned the bounce house and the slide myself, so
It's not the planning so much, it's to have it out, because like that time when, what's those girls, they was working in that concession stand with your, Mr. Anderson's daughter, Brenda, what's she,
That was working in the
stepdaughter.
concession. I'm not sure.
They used to be our clerk, assistant clerk.
Christina.
Okay, Christina.
Okay, and her friend was working in the concession stand. All
Well, they
of-
volunteered for
They
it.
were volunteering, okay? All of a sudden, nobody, that grease, she put those things in there and that grease came back on her. But she pulled the clothes out immediately and she didn't get burned.
Yeah, I wonder about that too.
That could have been a.
I mean, everybody goes in that concession stand and works. I mean, what's the liability on that?
Well, it's not supposed to be everybody.
No, there's, the way it's always been, and
always
the
But
been.
right now,
regular.
they've sent it to all the baseball teams, and they said, please fill all of these time slots, because we
But
have
middle
to
school
have.
and high school does
But
that
we have
too,
to
because
have people
I've
that-
watched the concession stand a whole lot more than I got to watch my kids play ball.
Yeah, me too, but the rec director generally always handled the 4th of July, to my knowledge, and the rest of it was handled by the mayor and clerks, members of council that could volunteer, that's true. What you're asking is,
Liability.
I don't know how they're doing it now, but
Anybody
it's
and
pretty much
everybody.
But
covered.
as long as you on city
On the
property,
Yeah, it's,
basically,
the rec director generally gets volunteers to sign up, and it's usually moms or dads, and there's usually a set group that does it, and they kind of rotate out. It's not just, but I don't know what the volunteer situation is out there, because I'll be honest with you, just like I said in the meeting, I didn't even know that you was coaching the team until the other night. I cannot tell y'all but one person that's on that board.
That's the
We
problem.
didn't set the board.
Who is it, Susan?
I told Miss
That's the
Gwen,
only one I
they
know.
never brought the board to us, we never seen them, we don't even know who they are, except that
I
woman that came here that night when she was
I was
complaining.
explaining to Mr. Golden before y'all come in. Right now, the board's gonna have to carry the city.
Who's the board though?
Listen,
We
we're
don't
gonna have to
know.
find out. Last year it was 10 of them. I know Cecil's still on the board.
Cecil, I know that.
Cecil, maybe
Cecil
he?
is, but the thing is, whoever the board is gonna have to carry the city until we find somebody.
But that's what I'm saying, we don't even, listen, if I had a list,
I
I
know.
would have been on the phone calling already to see who was in or for all we know, I understand there's a meeting out there tonight. I don't know who's gonna stay or who's gonna go or what's gonna go on, and I don't know any of them.
Where's the meeting?
They're supposed to be having a meeting tonight.
Shady
You ain't been
Road
to-
board, Tim came in today to see what there was for Easter, and, he said that it was at Shady Grove. And he's also had 4 games tonight, so he didn't think he could come to this meeting, cause he had,
And you're a coach, and you didn't know that there was a meeting tonight?
well, it's a board meeting, so if you're not on
Okay,
the board, I guess that's it.
Are you
Well,
on
tell
the
me
board?
something, this is my thing.
Out there.
I don't understand when you apply for the coaching job, he didn't give you a paper and say you have to go get a background check?
I didn't apply for no job, they just said, hey, I need to.
He
get
didn't say nothing about the background.
Oh, you didn't even,
No, the other night, and he said, I don't think I've got you one yet.
Yeah.
you ain't got none of them done
Here's
yet.
the thing, we all know this, and we could not get, for whatever reason, we've not been able to get him to understand. The background check's supposed to be done before any sport starts. Your coaches are supposed to be set before any sport starts. You're supposed to have applications and contact numbers for every team's parents, and it's all supposed to be on file up here. None of that's happening.
No, I told Candace, I explained to Mr. Gould, this is the thing too. I can ask any council, how many kids we got signed up? How many is the county paid for? All that's supposed to be broke down and all it's supposed to be
But the
listed.
county paid
Because
for
the thing
some of
is, we're not
They
having,
still do.
if Miss Winter, well, we got 432 kids and 16 teams. I'd be fine with that. Candace ought to have a list of them,
I
who
got
paid
a
and,
list.
and who
But
paid.
I
The county paid
The
for
thing
it.
is, we've got the situation, you can take money from anywhere now out there. It ain't just the concession stand, because the council don't know how many kids we got playing, don't know how many teams we got playing, ain't done, the background check's been done, none of the paperwork on none of the equipment's been signed out, or none of the coaches ain't signed nothing.
And not only that, but the opening day where they made so much money, there was a gate fee. We don't know how many people went in. We don't have no idea
Don't
how
know.
to keep up with any of that. All that needs to change while we're talking, and I, for one, am gonna tell y'all right now, I don't care what goes on, unless Venmo, PayPal, any of those credit card swipes that they come out with, I don't care what it is. Unless it's brought, whoever the new person is, unless they bring it and get it approved at council first,
Then
I
I
have
don't do
a
that.
major problem with being able to swipe out at any of this stuff, and let's not know about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what we were told in the meeting the other night about there being, go ahead and giggle, Joe, I don't care. We were told in the meeting the other night that 2 of the accounts were attached to the city.
Yeah.
And only 1 was attached to his personal.
Now, why?
First of all, that's not the case. Candace has found that 1 is attached to the city and 2 are to his personal account. I'm sorry. It's a big no for me, and going forward,
We're not
unless,
having it. I told them, I said, how could you do that? How
Well,
could you
it's
have
been-
something
it's-
going?
that's what
I ain't no way
It's
the
been
city is
done.
going to put nothing in
And
behind
we didn't
money.
know it.
You hear me?
We understand all of us know it's completely a mess out there. Now's the time to straighten
What's
it
that?
out.
We need to
That's
straighten it
what I'm
out.
telling y'all.
One, Jason, I'm fine with giving Jason the grass cutting. We dropped the 20,000 down.
if you need to,
I don't think
Text,
it's still
chat,
need
or
to drop
whatever.
down.
while we're going through
Well, it
this,
don't
still
depend
a lot.
on,
Still a
wait,
public
wait,
works
see
director.
what you
Are
pull
you
out.
good
Still
with that?
where it go.
Wait a
I ain't
minute.
gonna let it go
Man,
without,
it's a
you
lot
know that.
to do all,
Listen.
even the scheduling and putting the teams together and running the concession.
All right, I got the
Let's wait, see
board
what we pull out
members.
here.
Huh?
I got, he just texted me the board members.
How many are there?
All right, Cecil Roach is president.
Wait a minute. Okay, he's the president.
Jake Nesbitt is vice president.
Nesbitt is vice president. Jake,
Jake, yes ma'am.
I know him.
Casey Cobb is secretary treasurer, cheer director.
Should've known she was secretary.
Treasurer too,
Chris
Say
Galloway,
that again, what all is she?
secretary.
secretary treasurer, cheer director.
secretary treasurer.
Yeah, you should've known that.
Chris Galloway is basketball director.
That's 4.
What's the other one after Casey? What that job title is?
Secretary
Basketball.
treasurer, cheer director. And then we got Chris Galloway as basketball.
Okay.
Gio Martin is football. Then we've got members, it looks like members Quentin Potter, Kelsey Nesbitt, Ed Peacock, Scott Parrish.
Quentin Carter. You said
Say that again. Quit
Quentin Potter, Kelsey Nesbitt, Ed Peacock, Scott Parrish.
Okay.
All right, hang on, then it says voting to add members tonight, Kristen Kennedy, Heath Hewitt,
I thought Heath would already been on.
I did too.
Charles Cooper, Adrian Cooper, that's Charles's wife, I think.
That's 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can give us a list of them.
So do
later.
we know of those who is actually over the baseball program? Because that's what's rolling out now.
So what I think that he does I think that Tim does baseball.
10,
I would
yeah.
say yes,
Yeah,
you know,
Um,
by the way that,
Now, I will say this, from what I've seen since I've been in there versus other times as citizen or whatever, when he started, or when the group started, the 3 started, they didn't have a basketball program and they didn't have a flag football program.
No.
Those are 2 extra programs that they now have that are taking up several months of the year.
Because-
And then I have found that, So when I started, there was not enough money in that account, this is in October, to do there was like under $1,500 in that account. Well, then I found out that the way y'all's budget was is his paycheck is supposed to come out of the general fund. Okay, so I transferred that money from, that had been coming out of rec and got that right. So that put around $11,000 in there. Well, right now there's $28,000 in there. So the rec department has made $17,000 in the last 5.5 months, 6 months. So they're doing a good job as far as that goes. I mean, they're getting funds, donations, and the concession stands and gate fees or whatever. When I called about the community center fees the other day, asking different people, Ponce de Leon has a gym. Well, they're leasing their gym out for $300 a night. So you've got people doing the dodgeball tournament that was here. You've got people doing men's league basketball, travel basketball is a big thing right now too. If you want, the rec department could actually make a lot of money if you had a rec director that would put that time into those programs as well. Because if they rent it and ran the concession stand for adult league stuff, could make money. I'm just saying it's what I'm seeing on the inside in there.
There's a lot of money to be made.
Well, see, they don't open up it, they never open the concession stands. Cause I remember when John was playing, you was playing, they had those concession stands open all the time when they were little kids. They had them open at Shady Grove with my mom,
Yeah, and it
and
was
my sister
determined
them
on-
used to work on it.
Even at practices, it used to be based on how many practice teams were practicing as to what was sold at concession. But all that, I mean, we could talk.
Cause I don't
about
think
it
they
with
ever
the
open
director.
that, they don't ever open the one at Shady Grove no more. That's how come that man was living in there and stuff, cause they stopped, they shut it down altogether, did it? Cause I remember, Jason, they used to take stuff over there to sell.
Yep.
Well, y'all could probably have a full-time rec director if they put full-time into doing all those things, and actually he could earn his whole salary because Vernon, for a little town, you've got a community center, you've got a sportsplex, you've got 2 other baseball fields, you got a track, you got access to the football field, and then you got a basketball gym. The city of Vernon could.
We got a lot of.
Y'all got more than anybody. Y'all got more than Chipley does as far as that kind of stuff. You really
Well,
do.
Chipley's got 3 or 4 people working.
And they've got a $60,000 rec director and a $30,000 rec director, and the city of Vernon right now can hire somebody full time and make money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the problem is Chipley has those jobs for them as full-time jobs.
But they work for the city, don't they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Chipley's, they're employees.
Yeah, they're the city of Chipley's employees.
That's
and
why I said
have-
they work for the
Chipley
city.
has
See,
less
now,
amenities
If
than
we have a full-time employee, then that person need to work for the city.
Yes.
Because that's how we can't just up that out, cause that's different.
I
Because
wouldn't-
we can hold them accountable if they have a full-time job and they work for the city.
But that's what I'm saying. You could pay somebody
To work for the city.
to work for the city full time
That's-
and make money.
That's what I was asking y'all when we started this. Do we wanna go contract, or do we wanna go try employee, or what? I know one time some council
Cameron
had an
brought it
employee.
up to us. He wanted to be a contractor. The thing is, I'd be an employee.
Cause then we have an
You
employee
held
before him.
accountable for either way.
Seems
you
like we
go.
had an employee before
You know,
him.
but the
You get
thing
different-
is, you can have insurance.
You get
Well,
different
Brent, an
benefits.
employee.
With the
Yes.
city.
You get different benefits with being an employee.
We had an employee, one of them
One of them was.
Brent, I thought, was
don't
an
know who it
employee.
Mackenzie was.
Yeah, there you go.
Timothy's a contractor.
Well, 'cause
He
you know-
wanted to be a contractor.
But cause Mackenzie didn't want to, she
Well,
wanted
she
to.
was the employee,
wanted to
and
be an
Timothy
employee.
wanted to do the contract. That's right.
That's why we got broken
Well,
up.
it doesn't matter to me. I just wanna get it straightened out.
Well,
We need to get it straight now.
That's what I'm saying. So if we've got the mowing and the weeding out of the way.
Now, if they're gonna be full-time, maybe we're gonna put this back on them.
I don't know, that's still one person. There's a lot
You
of
think it's
stuff.
a lot?
I think it's, what do
I'd
you
let
think?
Jason
If you
have
well,
really
let 'em go
work
ahead
it,
and
if
have it
they
then.
put their
Okay.
heart into working it, they ain't got time to cut the grass.
Okay,
No.
then, all right.
I mean, because there's a
Let
lot of
that
money they can draw in from other
That's
things that
right.
they could be doing.
Well, and not only that, but if we take this out, we've got the money that we gotta work with in this
go.
budget
Budget,
period. So, if we take the mowing and all out and offer up what's being paid now to a full-time position, and after so many days, and they get the benefits of the full-time position, then
They
I think
do.
somebody would
We'll
be
take
willing to
it,
come and take it.
take it. Mhm.
But I don't think we should lower the money at this point.
Oh, no, we won't
Leave
lower
it
it,
as it is.
but they're getting an extra something anyway, cause they're getting free benefits.
Yeah.
I'm not doing, I mean, I haven't used the insurance or anything, so there's that money that's not been spent, and plus I've been doing the other job, y'all hadn't had a person in there. If y'all wanna put the money towards getting somebody to finish this.
No, we're gonna leave it like it is, because we're taking out more, and then we might take out something else as we go along. Cause they got city hall.
You think about it as an employee, you take, and Timothy might say something now, but still he's turned in the resignation. You pull all the mowing, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest job he's got as an employee. You put all the mowing on Jason and his crew. So all you got is scheduling games and lining the fields and all. And he's got
Upkeep on the fields.
He's got 13 people. Remember this now. He's got 13 people on the board up under him. That helps him. But the thing is,
Lining fields and.
It's more
it's a
than
good
that.
job. It's a good job the way I look at it. Now, if we advertise as an employee, they get benefits, they get insurance, plus they're gonna get $20,000 job.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and you mentioned something that Timothy may say something, okay, I'll come back at this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all. We all just wrote down all these people that we didn't know was on this board. And all I've heard of Timothy for the last 2 years is he ain't got no help.
He said
No,
that,
I do, I can't get him
I
to
don't
work
have
it.
no help,
I ain't got no
no
help.
help, he always said that.
I'm good with his resignation.
So,
Well, this is my thing, why don't people, cause like he was saying, before when Brent had it, that concession stand was full of people working. You know, cause I was out there, I never missed.
Well, and this is what I was told on the last 4th of July.
I was in town, but
by-
I never missed it, and I've always been out there, and that concession stand was full.
I
And
was
then last
told
year, he claimed he couldn't
He
get
didn't have help
nobody to
last
work
4th of
it.
July to run the concession stand.
To
I was
run the
told that
concession
before.
stand.
And I said, get on the phone and call your people and tell them to show up. Because he was complaining to me that he couldn't get any help out there. Well, obviously, somebody's been doing basketball. Somebody's been doing football. I've seen it all over Facebook. Now, we got all these people with 3 more signing on. But we brought in $400 in 4th of July last year. We brought more than that home in one night of basketball out here concession this year.
he buffaloed us at 4th of July. He wanted all of them to do something, whatever he wanted to do, but the thing is, our biggest, y'all know we've got on too, our biggest thing is our 4th of July. We spend the most money on them fireworks. Our 4th
And
of
we
July,
try to get
half
some
a day
back.
ought to be set aside for the city of Vernon, from bounce houses, pony ride, whatever. Half a day at the sports place, cause we got entertainment coming, they fit setting up already, but whoever wants a booth out there, as long as our problem was, do not sell the same thing. If y'all had a booth, you know, and the city was selling hamburgers, you couldn't sell hamburgers.
Multiple prior rec directors
They had no problem with that.
spent 2 or 3 days in prep before the 4th of July event.
Hey, if a record was pulled, this fella that sits right here at this desk, I was down there the year he run that concession
Who?
stand.
Gary?
This one right here.
They made a bunch
He
of money.
probably made the most money ever been made at that concession
He
stand.
cooked
He
like
cooked
a whole
every
food.
night, from chicken sticks to all
I mean,
kinds.
he
But
did
he
every
kept me
day.
busy.
He did. He went
And
at it.
that's what I'm
I'll
saying,
run back and
prior
forth.
rec directors have done it, that's why, and I know, cause I was a volunteer out there when Buddy was a contractor out there.
But-
It was making money, rec was not going in the hole, rec was making money on everything, and the 4th of July was,
But
I
my
think-
thing was, why would you, on the 4th of July, let a food truck come in for $20?
well,
On the 4th of July.
It wasn't
Now, that
costing
is
him.
just-
I'm with you, Becky. If I
I
could,
mean, come on.
if I could get one of my employees to work, just say them 13, making 20,000. I said, Becky, you want to work concession stand? I'll pay you $200 a night. What's $200 to cover the
When
city?
you come in there, somebody would come in there for
Come on, it'll
50.
work.
They would come for
He
50,
just
but you
didn't
ain't
want
gonna be doing that.
That's the thing. And I think the problem is we'll run into right now, there's no paperwork being done, obviously, on nothing. he's been worried about his building out here and getting it off the ground and all, and the city to decide.
Well, he could have made money off those food trucks. Where would you go for a food truck and you could get you only pay $20? Come
Well,
on.
even
I mean-
the big year when, y'all remember when the power went out, got put out there?
Mhm.
Buddy was over it then, so I know, it's been 100 years ago, but that's when they first got electricity down the lanes to set up the tables and all. The concession stand was open,
That's
along with
right.
all those vendors that were selling crafts and food and everything else. There was 2 rows, concession still made good money.
Yeah.
You don't let the vendors in and then not run concession too. You sell different things.
You said, well, you let them know what they,
So-
it's always been a rule what they could sell. Because I remember, you remember Perry? He wanted to sell peanuts out there. Remember that time? And they said, no, you can't because the fire department isn't selling.
Yeah.
So we put, you have to count that.
But it-
Now those people with the those ice cones and stuff, we don't sell that. So
No.
they're free to sell that. And ice cream, whatever they sell, lemonade, we don't sell that.
Well, and as for me, and I've been asked, and I don't know because we've not been told. My daughter asked me today, who's helping with cheer at the middle school. They're wanting to do a fundraiser for the 4th of July, and she called me today. How do we do that? What do we set up with? And I told her to call Candace because of the situation we're in right now. But I don't even know if they allow people to set up 3 tables out there, if everybody's charged or what.
No.
The rec director, that's his job, and he hasn't told us anything.
No,
So-
they don't charge, well, this was the rule of thumb when I was out there. They don't charge churches, and if it's something that benefits the school, they won't charge them to set up.
So,
None of the churches pays to set up out there,
So-
cause they usually do, and the health department sets up free, stuff like that, they're all free.
I know that we're all wound up, and we all have been, really worried about all of this for a long time. So while I'm straight on this,
So
the
Jason
mowing's
is
going to
do
Public
it.
Works. We're gonna make this a full-time employee position.
Okay,
Yep.
Okay. Y'all keep in mind that when that full-time employee comes in, we have a rec board right now. We don't know if somebody off that rec board may apply for the full-time position, but whenever we hire that full-time employee, it's gonna be up to them whether or not they wanna keep a rec board. Because we didn't set up the rec board, the rec director does that.
Well, see, that's, and y'all.
And I would hope
Is
that.
that $19,000 though, is that what's gonna be offered?
That's what I'm,
20,000.
That's only about $9 an hour.
yeah,
That's only like $9 an hour.
yeah, but,
It's like $9.50.
That's why I asked y'all, did y'all wanna do contract or employee,
but
because
the only
we
thing
can't
is,
change
okay,
really
listen
the
to
money
this.
right now.
You don't pay anything for insurance.
Our insurance
free,
is
with the
900
city.
something a month.
Is it free for a family?
No, it's free for that employee.
Yeah, it's free
Just
for
the
the employee.
employee.
But that's 900, how much is it?
Nine
We pay for each
it
other,
depends on the person, I mean,
the age or whatever, I guess.
600 to 800 for average,
We
but
pay
I mean,
we pay for
I
the
understand
insurance.
that.
And most jobs, there's a lot of jobs
I
that
don't
don't pay
think-
for no insurance, you pay for
I
your
don't know.
own. Even
I
if,
mean, the dollar store starts off $12 an hour.
yeah,
With a
but do they,
whole lot less responsibility.
well, I'm asking you this, do they pay for their benefits?
They probably do for the employee, if they're full-time.
I doubt it.
Well, and
A
here's
lot of
the
them don't pay
issue.
for insurance.
We have to go from budget year to budget year.
That's so we can't do anything. We can
So-
change it later.
We can see at budget time about working in more money. And obviously, if we've got somebody in there that's bringing in more money, rec, then.
Look at the actually becoming an employee out of that.
I wouldn't mess with it this year. Even though we got 28,000 in the recreation.
But we're not taking that salary out of that.
No.
Remember, she said it don't come out of
I wouldn't mess.
Where does the rec director salary come out?
General
that.
fund.
General funds, that's what
It
I'm
comes
saying.
out of the general fund.
So when I started, it was, Garrett was doing the paycheck from that, but then I went back and looked, cause I'm like, there's not even enough in here to pay them. And so I went and started digging, and it was in the, actually originated, supposed to be in the general fund.
Okay, so it's like a line item in the general. fund.
Yeah, yeah. So I put the money that had been paid out since they had started doing the payroll back into the rec account. And that was around $11,000. So that got him at around $11,000 because there wasn't nothing in there. You gotta keep in mind that the power bills for all the fields and concessions come out of rec too, every month. So during this time of year, they're gonna be a whole lot more than they are the rest of the
Yes.
time.
So I don't know the exact amount. You said it's 19,000 or something.
Yeah, I can,
Thank-
hang on, I can tell you.
I think that we would be safe in rounding it up to 20 for
20,000.
now.
That's for
Oh,
now.
that's what it was.
I thought
I
it was
thought it
20.
was too.
It's not, it's 15, hang on.
It's more than 15.
No, it's 15.94 times 12, $19,136.16.
Well, we can put it up to 20.
Yeah, it was 20.
It was 20 before.
Been 20 since Josh had the job. Supposed to be. I don't know why, who
I don't
got
know
that.
how-
I don't know how they broke it down.
Cause it was 20
Yeah.
before.
Well,
That's
that's-
what's budgeted, 20. The budget.
Well, the budget isn't, I mean, I can go get a copy of it. But
I'm
you're
sure
talking
it's
about,
20,000.
but you don't have in the budget, you don't have the FR, if you're talking about staying with the budget, you don't have the FRS or the insurance in the budget either, so you're not in the budget when you,
No, we're
when you
not.
do this, so you might as well decide to do whatever you're gonna do, you can use other funds, there's funds
Well,
there.
why don't we, everybody has to be on the probation period, you know that, if they are employees. So then we have time to raise it. By the time they finish their 3 months or whatever, it'll be time for us to do a new budget, won't it? Almost. Cause in
We'll
July,
probably start
we do
on
a
the
new
budget in
budget.
June or July,
Yeah, we do a new
It's gotta be
budget.
finalized by the end of
By
September.
That's what I'm saying, and so
and
that
seeing as how I don't know
would
what I'm
be,
doing,
that
I'm
would
probably
be
gonna
a
start
time
next
to look
month.
at giving that person a little more money. Cause see, you have to watch how you do that.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. We
Because
need
sometimes
round
if
numbers.
you jump and then, what are you gonna do when they do their 3 months probation? What are you gonna do then? Give them more, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
So you need to take it, kind of do it then, I would
So
say.
are we in agreement to set it at 20,000? And
Yeah,
advertise it as a full-time position
With benefit
yeah.
with benefits?
for,
Let's go
to
ahead.
be
let's-
reassessed at budget time, is that how I'm doing it?
No, don't put
No,
that there.
we
No.
just
Leave it like
just
this.
assess it. at budget.
Don't put it there, just leave it.
Yeah.
We ain't promising nobody
You
nothing.
don't gotta put that in the ad,
Okay.
just, so we're at, let's move on, we're at number 4.
We'll be here all night.
Taking out 3, right?
Yeah, 3's out. We got 1, 2,
There you go here.
4, 5, 6, 7 definitely needs to be in
Yeah.
here.
The only thing she needs to take out is that rec president. Put
And
city deputy.
yeah, on number 7, it doesn't, it needs to be rec
Hey,
director
To the deputy,
and
to the
city
clerk.
clerk.
hey, on, number 4, Becky.
Yeah,
It says, organized concession, all games and practices. I take practices out, cause they don't open those concessions and practice.
No,
It ain't never.
they used to.
They all
They
do,
used
but
to.
they-
we did.
No,
Candace,
they
didn't y'all
didn't. They
do
used
the
to do it.
The practices,
Didn't y'all have
concession
concession
stand?
practices?
Yeah, I think no, not in middle school and high school we didn't, only at games. No, I don't, and I can't remember
At
when
rec,
they,
you didn't?
I don't know, I was always
We
doing the
did.
concession stand when they were
Well, my
5 or
thing
6
is,
years old. I
if
don't-
they have it over there, over there, they don't have to cook
Well, bring
anything.
in Coach
You
James.
understand?
Concession
No,
don't
wait,
open on
you don't have to
practice.
cook anything.
Should
You don't have
do
to,
think
you
they
gotta,
should?
no.
I mean, I think if they had a really strong staff underneath them to where they could do that, yeah, I mean, it would make money.
So why don't we just leave that up to the,
I would,
Because
'cause
this
you
is
got
my
13
thing,
board
no,
members. What are they
this is
doing?
my thing, if you don't
But they're
cook,
free, the board members are not getting
Paid.
paid
Yeah,
nothing,
they're
like
volunteering.
and they might,
so I'd leave it in and leave it up to the rec director. But whoever it is, when we do interviews, y'all, we can ask them, would they have a problem with, if you've got, so many practices going on fields, or you got so many people showing up with kids that aren't
but
playing,
listen to this.
do you mind
Even
selling
if
something?
even if you don't have to cook anything, they'll buy
Yeah,
the
just
chips and
chips
candies,
and
Yeah.
and they don't cook nothing.
Yeah,
At the practices, all you gotta do, they'll buy them sodas, chips, and them Gatorade.
we did candy,
Yes,
chips,
chips, that's all.
nachos and cheese.
Cheese or something like that, that's it, you don't cook
Practices.
nothing. You can warm that cheese in the crock pot and give them that,
That's it,
and that's
yeah,
it.
we
You
did
don't
quick
have to
stuff,
be
but-
doing a whole lot of cooking.
Okay, so are we good with leaving number 4?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
5,
It's good,
6,
good,
7,
good.
check, Candace
I
on number
put rec
7,
director and
And-
clerk.
city or deputy clerk, at least, or city clerk. Number 8,
Good,
9,
good,
10,
good,
11,
good,
12,
good.
13,
Yep. Fourth and banquet, yep,
14,
yep,
Good.
that's your job.
15,
Good.
Yep,
16,
yep, that's,
Good, that's what.
17.
yep,
That's always been a obligation. It's never been done in years, but it should be. All right, 18,
Good,
19,
yep, we need a copy of who's
yeah,
playing.
that's it. So all of them.
20,
Yeah,
21,
All participate, that
Yeah.
body.
they just get a receipt for everything.
Yeah,
22,
yeah,
that's
well,
good. 23,
yep.
and
Yep,
add,
background checks.
add background
it's
checks,
down
yeah.
there, make sure
Down
that
there,
everyone
24.
meet, that's
Okay.
required to
24.
pass up, it's number 24,
Yeah,
it's there already.
It needs to say before event,
Before season,
before seasons.
before the
Yes.
season starts, it needs to say that.
All that paperwork should
Needs to
be
be
turned
done.
in before.
There's good conduct and the
Yeah.
background check needs to be done before the season starts.
take out
Number 25 needs to be taken out.
and 26. And 27.
Yeah.
Yeah,
25, 26, 27.
28,
yep, the
Well,
field,
now are y'all, is that gonna be public works or?
it needs to be worded, no, they're responsible for
for the
the,
fields,
For the fields,
they're
yeah, I
responsible
just
for
want
the
grass.
field.
Yeah, the field, it needs to be.
field.
It
It
don't
says
say
all
about the grass
fields.
mowing.
Still line the fields and do all that.
yeah, and take care of the fields completely, yeah.
29, take out.
No, take out. That's when they was a full-time employee, see, they was clocking in.
Well, they're gonna be a full-time employee now, so they need to clock in and out at City Hall.
Mm-hmm,
But they're gonna be a lot of times at night, not during the daytime.
Yeah,
So leave it at,
but they can't
They
get
go
into
at
the
9, well, they'll have a key anyway.
they wouldn't have no reason to have a key to your,
So, I mean, they can
Sure,
they
right.
can get another time clock.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Well, Tim has a key to
Yeah.
get in here, cause he goes in the mayor's office.
yeah, well, that's not, all that's changing.
Oh, wait,
Let me
big.
go ahead and tell y'all right now, our rec director, whoever, or rec directress, or however y'all wanna say it, whoever it is, does not need a code or a key to this building.
No,
They need to move their, whatever they got out there to the sportsplex. Now, if anybody disagrees with me on that, speak
No,
up now.
mm-mm.
There's no reason for the rec director to have every key to everything the city's got, like the public works director does. There's absolutely no reason for it.
I don't even have a key to here.
You don't have a key or a code here
No.
either. See, that's what I'm saying. It's too much. Nothing but the sportsplex.
well, like you
Well,
were
you
talking
know
about
how
an
that
office,
happens.
if you need an office, there's plenty of rooms down there, that's workplace. Back there, there's all those.
There's a
rooms
whole
back-
upstairs that's not used for anything.
That nobody's even using.
That's
You
what I'm
need
saying.
an office.
Everything needs to be out there
Nothing here,
At the sportsplex.
at the sportsplex.
they don't have no office and they have no reason in here,
the rest of them.
after
do.
hours.
So we good with the rest of them?
Yeah,
Does he bring in incident reports and stuff when they get hurt?
They're supposed to because
those two.
it's generally filed. If something happens, it has to be filed on the insurance. So
They
the
can-
clerk's office should have a copy of every document
That's,
that's generated.
yeah, that's the problem, the main problem. I say when we do get our, the people that puts in for the job, I think we ought to have, just sit them down and go over this one. And say, listen.
That's what we'll have to do in interviews and all.
Yeah, I just
in
tell them all,
discussion.
say, listen, we just gonna tell you how it's gonna be. Now, we ain't being hard, but the
Just
main problem
Tell us
is
no if you
the
don't like
paperwork.
it now.
I want y'all to know, then you won't have to face me down the road. You know, the
I
paperwork,
agree.
how serious the
Or
paperwork is.
We
you
need it,
know?
Okay, so are we in agreement down to 33?
yeah.
Okay, the pesticide application. And surface and infield prep.
But this right here was because he was a contract employee, I guess, isn't it, once we?
They're still responsible for the, unless y'all wanna change that, we'll see. But that goes into
Responsible
the maintenance of the field, so I think it needs to stay. What do you think? What do y'all think?
Is there not money that the rec makes that they can pay somebody to do the fields the right way? Instead of somebody just going out there and putting whatever type of, pesticides or whatever on grass, the next thing you know, you drive by there and all the fields, the grass looks like crap. I mean, it shouldn't cost much to say once every 3 to 6 months to have
I
somebody
think we'd have to
fertilize.
have that looked at, Candace, you'd have to get some prices on that before we know,
Yeah.
even though we.
You talking about and keeping the grass off the clay and keeping the
No, he's talking
Well,
about
like
the
Jordan said, too,
fertilizing
though,
and.
you can almost spray that with.
Well, it's like at my house, when the grass first starts growing, can't walk out my yard barefooted.
Because of the stickers.
Charles has to come over every year and spray something. It don't kill the grass, it kills them stickers.
Yeah,
It's in the grass. Yeah, you can't walk out of your vehicle
I'm
and get
the same
something
way.
out of your vehicle.
I do it.
So,
You gotta get tougher feet.
So do we wanna take this up, this part of it out and just deal with it as it comes?
What?
Pesticide application through the
Oh, that
surface infield
pesticides,
prep.
yeah.
Well, I can look, I can call around and see if they're like other,
And somebody.
Well,
Jason,
cities, if
Jason's
they
got
do it
more
or if
than
they
all of
hire
us.
a
You still
company to do
umpire,
it.
don't you?
Not out there.
Not out there.
He umpires in big
I
games.
do the high
You
school.
moved up, did
I moved
Yeah,
up from
he-
Big
he-
World.
Hey, he making big bucks.
I moved up from the, no matter something. No matter.
they winged
I
you
moved
out
up.
up there.
on that building out there, when it flooded, however it flooded, I don't know, I can't remember the details of that.
Was
of
he
the
talking
science
about the
building.
AC, the pipe the other night for the air conditioners, what caused all the.
No,
water
yeah,
damage?
but I'm talking about out here, that the building that Tim was gonna turn into the rec office we were talking about the other night, the insurance paid either $11,000 or $14,000, my brain ain't remembering right now, for that to be fixed. I'm assuming that there's no power there. The reason there was no power in that gym that he did must have been when we took that, remember we took that home ec building down?
Yeah,
I'm thinking that
that was, the
almost,
power grid was in there,
I think
Oh,
the
that was
power grid was
wired,
in there, and that's why there's no power to,
none of those
Either-
buildings.
Well,
of
if
those
we have
buildings.
insurance money to do that, you may wanna look into getting some prices or find out what it's gonna cost us to get power back there, because, you know, we talked about renting out and leasing rooms. I think that building out there would be a perfect place to make, I mean, at one point, I know that there was a medical facility that had asked questions about if the city had any buildings for lease, like a clinic.
It's actually
That is a
two
separate
buildings,
Two,
one.
It's two great big rooms with some sort of bathroom in the middle.
Yeah.
I haven't been in there that I can remember. I think it was built after I graduated. I
It
can't
was.
It was science
But
lab when I
I-
was in school. I used it as science lab.
Why are you that much younger than me?
I gotta look at it.
Because
Well,
And then
he
I'll-
must have said,
I graduated in the 90s.
I did 293. I think
It
he
was
said though
built after
that
that.
he already pulled out, cause he thought it was gonna be the rec room. He pulled out all the carpet. Do you know what all he's done out there?
It's stripped.
He stripped
It's
it
completely empty.
because it was flooded and molded and whatever.
The tile buckled up.
So he's done all
tile
that.
up. All the counters that were in there, the science counters are all gone.
They were gone when the last time I was in.
In other words, it's stripped, so
Yeah,
if you were
basically.
going to rent it, you would need to take all of that money and
Fix it.
Renovated,
renovate it,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's the newest building on this property.
It's the nicest building, really.
well, did they build that just before they closed it?
Yeah, my senior year, I had science there. And I think that was the first or second year.
Okay. So, Candace,
Mhm.
can you see if you can get Timothy to give you a phone list If not, I'll.
I have all the
send some.
parents' phone numbers, cause I make a spreadsheet every time somebody registers.
I mean, for the board.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have contact numbers for the board. And the rest of this, and I don't know,
What about this stuff about the collection of those proceeds, where the money needs to be counted by two people and stuff? What about that?
it always used to be.
Then y'all talk
I'm
about,
assuming that he's got somebody,
then y'all talk about the receipt at the cash registers.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, there should be, on those cash registers out there,
It is.
they're supposed to pull those rolls and bring them to City Hall.
It is.
Are they at City Hall?
No,
No, they're out
it's
there.
supposed to be.
They're supposed to be in there. I don't know.
They ain't been doing it.
Okay.
Well, last year they didn't do it, but last year we were out there because, Timothy's ex-wife was running it.
I think she's still kinda handling most of that.
Yeah, 'cause she was running it.
Whenever I see her, normally she's around the concessions.
Yeah, and she was running it.
Okay, so as far as the rest of this that's on here with Timothy and the other two that were in here,
Mhm.
That just
I think-
scrap it.
well, generally how we do this is we turn this over to the attorney and she draws it up legally, so. But that's what it's been done with the contract. So maybe we just need to, Candace,
But we all have a job duty, like I have a job duty,
That's what I'm
deputy
saying.
clerk has a job duty, think public works and maintenance and all that has a job, they're in the office there, I mean, I ain't never read Jason, but, there is a job duty that comes with the application,
Yeah.
okay.
and, but do y'all,
So we may not necessarily even have to have Michelle look at this since it's not a contract, it's an employee.
I can ask for tomorrow, but,
Yeah, so basically these are the job duties that we want.
yeah, but what do y'all wanna do, like, what do y'all want them to do, in other words, right now, your rec director does Easter, Christmas, 4th of July, and the sports, right, for the little kids. Do y'all want them to pursue other things like what we were talking about or no?
Like what?
You mean like what, like hosting tournaments and stuff? I would like to see that. I don't mean to keep saying it, but that's the only way I can compare it to. Previous rec directors hosted wrestling matches and rec made money off the concession.
Oh, you mean to do some of the things that
So to
you said they
do
were doing?
extra stuff to make money,
Money?
I would like to see an employee do that. Now, I'm not asking them to take over the pageant, but we're gonna have to find somebody else to start taking over the pageant, cause I don't wanna see that fall by the wayside.
Well, there was a pageant out here a couple weeks ago, and then somebody's got it booked for a pageant
Yeah,
coming up.
I'm talking about our fireworks.
Our fireworks one, yeah.
Yeah, I wanna get that back up and running. I don't expect the rec director to do that unless it's
No.
something they wanna do.
No,
but-
because Laura always did.
I mean, if we can get somebody else, you know, I don't know, I haven't had a chance to talk to Lori,
I don't think she wanted to.
but
She's
I have talked to a
We
couple
talked
of
about
people
it and then
that.
we wanted it to keep going, but
We want it to keep going too, so I'm gonna reach out. I've got, well, I can tell you if Lori was interested in doing it again, Gina and Tabitha and Faith said that they would help.
I know that me and her talked about it, but
If not, we'll get
You're
somebody.
talking about Lori, your sister? How far did the pageant go to pay for fireworks when your mom
we
did
used
it?
to pay for all of it.
I know, but they done got so expensive now.
And before the
Yeah.
prices got so high,
Huh?
the pageant was near about covering them. I remember she was bringing like $67,000
It
back
used to, when the
when,
fireworks were listed,
fireworks
yeah,
were so
they
high.
used to cover it. Only thing I'd done was set up and then I disappeared. Cause I didn't like my mom
but
to pay.
at some point I thought,
Yeah, I
I'll
love her to
look on
death.
that.
I was
I'll reach
not
out to
like
some
that.
people that had some experience with pageants.
I knew better.
And, but yeah, as far as, you know, if they wanna host, if the director will host a wrestling match, I know that the wrestling teams before have done it and gave concession to rec.
Well, I'm asking because you had the dodgeball thing out there
Yeah,
this
that's what I'm saying.
weekend, and then I know that there's adult league basketball that'll play too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, but
It's all.
Yeah, and we could
they
rent
need
the
to know
building.
which direction they need to go when they take the job.
Yeah, and that's why they were saying, when we do interviews, we're just gonna have to sit down and talk to them and tell them what we expect.
Just tell them what we expect.
You know,
And wouldn't all those details be simply SOPs or standard operating procedures?
Yes.
They wouldn't be necessarily in your job description, they would pertain to doing certain things.
yeah.
Good.
All right.
But you can also put a clause down there about
Let's see, we got
any
that.
other job, as you always need to put that there. Cause then you can't say, well, that's not, you didn't tell me that. Every job I go on, every time I work somewhere, you
Well,
say,
yeah, it needs
that
to be
little
something
clause
along
is
the
in
lines
there.
I mean, it does say any other
Yeah.
task assigned by the city.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying,
It's
no,
in there.
you need to have
Yeah,
that in
so
there.
I pretty much think we've got it covered a lot
People will
quicker than I
say,
thought. Add a number to the job description that any and all events be advertised through our PR.
And again, that can be an SOP that you can.
Yeah, but I mean, they might as well know what they're getting into.
Oh, yeah.
And then there won't be any, oh, I didn't know.
Honestly, if Mr. Goulding did a video 2 months before the Christmas bazaar, or 2 months before, and just kept, and we aired it on everything,
We always have, up until this, until
we
Yeah,
would
there's been a
have
change.
thousands of people that
that's what I'm
showed
saying,
up.
but he's not been getting the information.
The Christmas bazaar was a flop.
But just like the fourth coming up,
I don't
you got
mind
on
doing
it, and, you know, we had bounce
And
houses,
helping them
pony
do it.
rides and all that, a half a day event, so-and-so singing, gonna start so-and-so, so that'd be part of the way.
Well, and that's
Well,
why
we
we
booked
need to
singing
reach out.
already.
now's the time to start talking about it.
We've already, we've already booked the singing.
The singing's booked, the bounce house is booked.
I hadn't booked bounce house for 4th of July,
Okay,
4th of July yet, but
okay. Fireworks have been paid for.
fireworks is paid for, checks have cleared the bank.
Well, I guess they get the.
They get the second half, but the first half I did in
Yeah,
October.
they got that, and if we don't get somebody in here by then, then we're gonna have to rely on the board to help with the 4th of July, if they will, so we all need to be reaching out with somebody with the, when we get some phone numbers, to see who all,
Well, I'm hoping, you know, at least him would give us 30 days, so that puts him in
that covers Easter,
May, and put him in the middle of May, so maybe we'll have somebody hired
yeah.
by then.
Well, if you just
At
give
least he
me,
gets it and walk out.
if you can just give me a job description, a short one, we'll take the money out of what you pay us, but we'll do some sponsored Facebook advertising. Every time we've done that, we've gotten a huge response. Now, a lot of it is fluff, but you're gonna get some numbers. You need this many to have it funnel down to a few good prospects, but we'll start running that immediately. So whatever you need to do to boil this down, to just give me something simple. At one time, we had one for a recreation director. I think the last time that we ran it, we had one several years ago.
You don't want this whole thing, right?
No,
Well,
just
you wouldn't run this,
You
you would
just
only,
wanna base it-
you want me to just boil it down? I mean, if you give me permission to do that, I won't say anything that's out of line.
It doesn't matter, I don't have a problem with it, because they're gonna get this one anyway when it's topped up.
Yeah, they're gonna get that when
Along
they
with
come
their
do
application.
the
If you want
application.
to just do a
Gonna get
short one,
plenty
go
of
ahead and do that.
I'll boil it down, send it to
Why?
Candace.
You know how much you can do with it.
Because you're taking all the all the labor for it, and then the sun, weed eating all that, you're putting it on Jason takes it.
It's still a
All-
40
mostly their
hour
job
week
It's
job.
still, yeah,
The scheduling
If they do it
games,
right.
lining the fields.
keeping the
and-
bathrooms clean, that kind of stuff.
Yes, lining stuff.
Can you send this to me digitally? If you'll send me the
Their
document.
biggest job is getting
Well, I
contact
only have the
early
copy.
enough
I mean,
with
it
the
would be an
coaches and
attachment.
on the other teams and all.
Well, that's not gonna,
I pulled it out of a file in the filing
That's the
cabinet.
biggest job they got.
I'll get my wife to transcribe it.
It is it is a lot more than just mowing the
It
field.
is.
I
Oh,
don't mean
know.
to be
The
just,
biggest,
I'm saying it can be, it's really, if they do it right, it's a 40-hour plus.
And if they get good
every week.
volunteers,
well,
which,
you have deadlines, just like sign-ups for football, baseball and all that. And when you got 16, 18 teams, right there, just say 15 teams, that's 45 coaches right
well,
there.
obviously,
So most teams, you got 3 coaches.
Well, they got
You got a head
13,
coach
I
and
wanna
two
say they have
assistant
13 teams
and I
signed
don't imagine that
up.
they would.
They're almost at the maximum where Dixie League won't allow them to have
I don't
any
know
more.
some of them.
They're
That one right there, that one, and that one that I
Well,
love.
that's,
No, somebody in the field.
Also, they have to go once a month to some kind of meeting. He just told me that today. I
Yeah,
can't
they have
remember.
to keep up with the rules
It's
and
in the Community Act
regulations.
or somewhere.
How
Make sure the bathrooms are clean and have.
Football, the baseball,
Everywhere.
Dixie, they have to keep up on all those new rules and regulations as they come out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But they're gonna, I mean, that's a given. They should go.
Well, I've already asked him if he would, over the next 30 days, I want coaches' names and phone numbers, all of the organizations that they are members of, that he has to contact to schedule basketball, to schedule baseball, to schedule football. He said that there was a lot. He's been very helpful in the last 2 days. He's answered me better than he's ever answered me before. So he's been very helpful the last couple of days.
Also,
Two more things, which you might want to put it in a record. It's their duty to show up at the meeting or send someone to give a report.
once a month is all,
Yeah. That's it.
that's all any
It
of
needs to be added
Well,
in
they're
there.
an
dude.
employee and the supervisors have to be here, so he's gotta be here anyway, cause he's in.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but they don't show up. When's the last time we laid eyes on Timmy?
I don't know though that you don't have to, that'll be something for Michelle, but I don't know that you can say full-time employee $20,000. You may have to put an hour leave.
Just find out from her.
Yeah, I don't know that you can just say X
You can't
amount.
say 20.
And another thing, Becky, there's nothing in here, Miss Wynn brought up about bathrooms.
We need to add cleaning the facilities,
You know,
recreational facilities.
yeah.
Add that to the job
And
description.
supplies, and make sure they're supply, they have supplies, like paper and stuff.
Well, they get all that from Sam.
I'm not talking about that, putting it in there.
Yeah, put it in there so they don't see it.
I'm talking about putting it in there. I know they have it, but do they put it in there? You know?
Okay, is there anything that anybody else can think of that we need to add or discuss on this?
Hey, one more thing. Y'all be thinking, this building out here, this business out here, city's gonna have to do something.
Well, and I was gonna say, but I thought
We're gonna have to start charging him
we've got to
a
get a
rent fee
breakdown.
by the month, or the city's gonna have to draw a contract up with him and charge him, or do
Well, now, she's
something.
supposed to be, y'all told Michelle to draw up a
Yeah, and
contract,
it's
right?
supposed to be done, I thought we discussed it, but I don't know if we directed her to go ahead and start on it, but we did say within the year. And I would like to go ahead and get that done as soon as possible.
Well, yeah, y'all need to decide at
We
the
did
end of the
agree.
year how much y'all gonna charge.
We did agree that we would pay to have the power pole put out there, but we haven't got a price on that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, if it's 4,500 to get it to there, it ain't gonna be no cheaper to get it to there. They're side by side.
Well, here's my issue from what I just understood. That building is tied directly to the gym.
Right now it is, yep.
He's going to have his own power. And at the meeting, I thought we all talked about seeing
Well, I
about
was
setting a
supposed to get the
pole.
power, but that's
So is
what
that
I'm
just to
saying.
set a pole?
So well, I don't think they will just set a pole. Gulf Power, Florida Power and Lights came out here the other day. And they don't know which one operates the other one either, by the way. And the man was here, it's not, anyway. Basically, it looks like what they're talking about doing with the 4,500, that's how that price was come up with, and somebody else may do it for that was just one person. But they were basically told by Florida Power and Lights how they would have to do it.
Who was told?
Travis, cause he did that estimate, cause he'd asked him about hooking to that building, the $4,500 estimate, and it's not gonna be any different hooking it to the building beside it.
Travis Hall?
I mean, we get other estimates, that's not the
Well, no, I'm
thing.
thinking, I didn't realize that he even had.
He said, no.
No, I said Travis Hall. I always think of him as being the internet person, not the
Not the
electrician.
electric.
He's working.
That's Chad.
So a lot of people work under, a lot of electricians in the area.
He's in the electrical business. Travis said.
Travis is working under
Travis is in the electrical business.
Yeah, I know who,
Yes.
I know he works under, but
Listen, no,
Oh, God, this is.
I'll let her tell you if she wants to
No.
tell you.
a lot of people
We know.
are
who.
working
You don't have to
under
tell
the same.
We know who it is. We already know. You don't have to tell us.
All
We
of
know.
them.
I know.
Can we get some more estimates?
Yes, no, that's not
Listen, I'm
the
with
thing.
y'all.
Why
The
do you
thing
keep
is-
laughing like I said something wrong?
No, we
But
get to
the
know
thing
you not,
is,
baby.
Y'all
We got a-
indicating that I'm.
Well, we got a
making somebody
contractor
wrong.
out there that started a business on the city, and he's got power coming from the gym, and the city's paying the bill.
And that's why my
Am I
hand
right?
exploded here, y'all all look here
Brian
sideways.
runs
right.
the power. Brian runs the power that's out there right now.
Yeah, but the thing that, see, that's
It'll
another thing
only
that we
run
didn't
live.
know.
It only
It will not
needs,
run
to-
nothing
but
else.
what's out there though,
Well,
only
don't
needs
the
to run the
machine
gym.
run by electricity?
Yeah, because
The
the
gym is
situation
hooked
is,
into my power
But it
box.
won't run that
Because
whole
that's-
besides,
that's gonna
besides
be-
that. It can't have air or heat or none of
But-
that.
Yeah, but the machines is running.
rigged into the
I don't know
gym.
how
Yes,
many of
rigged
them
into
there are, I haven't been in
into my
there.
building better.
And
But if you
we,
got treadmills
they
and stuff,
pay
they
for
run by electricity.
I don't think they use a lot.
Jason does.
Brian
Jason,
don't
they,
charge you, but.
what kind of electrical stuff, the equipment?
They got treadmills and all out there runs by
They got
the
everything.
The main elect, the
They,
main
they got
electric,
everything that Gold's Gym's got, except for a pool and a hot tub.
So they use
They have lots of-
there is a
electricity.
lot of people going out
And
there.
they is,
That's electricity being used.
that's a lot of power running right
I've heard
there.
it, heard it. He's got, there's no telling how many people he's got.
I think he's probably got about eight treadmills, I think,
well,
probably stair
here's my issue,
steppers.
who paid to have the electricity hooked up out there? Did the city pay for that?
Not that I'm aware
Yeah.
of. It was hooked up before I started. 'Cause
I
I've
know
not
Brian
paid
done it, I
that.
know that much, is all I know.
Okay, well, here's the deal. We need more than one estimate anyway.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is they don't bid on each other. Most of them are working under the same
License, I get it.
license.
There's
Now,
other.
the actual
Fans of electricity.
The actual electrician that Travis is working under, he's not working under his daddy, just so y'all know. The actual one that he's working under, did come out and look at all of it, cause he called me about it, but, they won't bid against each other. So I gotta get people,
Okay.
I gotta find,
So,
Brian's heating and cooling.
see if we can get a better deal, getting them to do both of it. The science building and this out here.
okay.
Because we've got the insurance money to have it done on the science.
Do we have a pole out there even close? Can they,
The only pole that, like power pole,
yeah.
is the one that's got the light.
There's not a night light out there, are there?
What about the ones that were right out here behind the back hall?
Well, they got
There's a
those.
set of 'em.
It's got the.
Those
that's
things,
the
but there's no
transformer
meter on it
things
that
are
they were
there.
supposed to be
Now,
putting the
there's
meters.
a power
on.
pole back there that's got the box to turn the lights
Boxes,
on for
but
the
there's no
field.
meter.
That's the only power pole that I know of out there.
I don't see why we could put a night light on that pole.
I don't know either.
And light on
We
that.
really need to look.
Because
at-
that's
Another
dangerous.
electrician may come up with that
That's a
option.
dangerous situation back there, it's too dark.
Another electrician may have that option. I'm just telling you what I was.
I mean, I can put LED lights. Like I got at the shop.
Well, we need to get power to that other building if we're gonna lease it. And we gotta get this
Him off
gym
us.
off of our gym.
And he's on his own water. He has his own water
Yeah,
meter.
it's got his own meter.
Okay. But he's gotta have his own power too, and so we need to get that done, so he can start paying his own power bill. And we need
Contract with him. and
a
decide what
contract
we
with
want.
him, and it'd be nice to know,
How many feet,
What kind of
somebody, you
input
need to
he's
get a
got.
measurement of that building, Jason.
he's got,
He did already.
Oh, he did already?
I forget what the measurement was.
3,600 square feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, because I've been on out there, we need to spend $1,000 or whatever it costs, and in my opinion, that don't matter, cause I ain't voting. But we need a privacy fence at both ends of that building, because people are walking through there, and there's holes everywhere, there's an open old furnace room
I remember.
out there.
That hole,
It's a,
big hole out
it's a
there.
safety nightmare, and there's teenagers all running out in there, probably making more teenagers, and just, I'm just,
okay, we know what we gotta do, let's just get on the ball and get it done.
I'm just saying, we need to do something about it before it becomes a liability.
Alright.
Okay, are we all square, pretty much on the
Yeah.
same sheet?
Good.
Okay, If there's nothing further, can I have a motion to adjourn?
We're adjourned.
Second,
So.
discussion, all in favor? Meeting adjourned.